Jack Shannon,
Alex Stinson,
Juan Higuera,
Jordan Morgan.
Many writers diminish the quality of their writing by using the following detractors. Number 1, misuse of point of view. Number 2, colloquial speech and immature, excessively informal vocabulary. Number 3, use of absolutes. Number 4, silly, weak, and childish examples. Number 5, rhetorical questions. 6, cliches. And finally, number 7, contraction. When writing, the point of view you're writing from is very important to monitor. This refers the point of view to the position which the narrator is speaking from, with examples including the first, second, and third person. In simple terms, this refers to how they see the world around them and who the subject refers to that they're speaking about when they're talking. The first person has examples such as I think or we believe, speaking from yourself. This is incorrect because it's not the writer's opinion, but rather the facts that they're saying. Second person occurs when the story is spoken about you, and examples such as you wrote. This is also not correct because you should not reference the reader, as this is informal and in a factual informational paper. Do not be fooled, however, because third person is the only correct point of view allowed in academic writing. This one focuses on he or she, the subject of he or she, and goes straight to the facts without fault. The first person uses the opinion, and second person refers to the reader, which these are informal and not allowed in factual informational paper.
Colloquial speech is daily speech that you would use in normal settings, for example, at a lunch table or over text. These remove the formality from the sentence, making it seem as though a child were writing it. Therefore, refrain from these phrases. Phrases such as nowadays or a ton of are good examples of what not to do in formal essays. Instead, use more sophisticated words or words that are generally underused in a day-to-day setting, such as these. These transitions are formal, therefore acceptable to be used in an essay.
An absolute is when a writer states his opinions as valid and does not take into consideration any other factors. The author may use words such as never, always, and everybody. An example of an absolute could be writing, everybody thinks that Shakespeare is the best writer of all time. While it may be the author's opinion, the author does not take into consideration any of the people who may disagree with that statement. A way that you could rewrite that sentence could be, many readers may argue that Shakespeare is one of the best writers of all time. That way, the author's opinion is debatable and not viewed as absolute.
Silly, weak, or childish examples are examples which refer to non-credible sources, such as children's TV shows, books, or movies, as well as stories that would not contain factual information relating to the essay. Two pieces of evidence are shown above. The one on the bottom is considered to be a good source because it is from an academic book, while the one on the top is from a movie. Be sure to select good sources when selecting evidence.
Rhetorical questions are questions that are often used by authors to prompt the reader to think about what the author is about to explain. Rhetorical questions are viewed as casual and should not be used in formal writing because they force the reader to figure it out themselves instead of explaining the concept to them, which is the whole point of the writing. Some examples of rhetorical questions could be, can you imagine that, or is this some kind of joke? Instead of using these questions in writing, the author could rephrase it into a sentence that explains the answer without sacrificing the formality of the writing.
A cliche is a phrase that's been ruined by overuse to the point of annoyance when such a phrase is uttered. Cliches are well known, and when they are used in academic writing, they convey some degree of unoriginality. Some examples of cliches are, when life gives you lemons and any variations, and a diamond in the rough. These phrases have been used so many times, any usage of them can discredit formal writing. Instead of copying one of these old phrases or themes, take out the cliche and use something more original. A contraction is a shortened form of a word or group of words with the omitted letters usually replaced by an apostrophe. They are used to make a word shorter in speech and are often used in informal speaking that heavily detracts from a mature academic voice. Contractions like can't are made from one word which is shortened, while other contractions like won't are made from two words spliced together. Instead of using contractions like these, simply spell out the full word, making the writing read in a more formal tone.